Just crazy how everything is like opposite to what the mind thinks. Just sitting with yourself, this is free. And I'm talking about when you sit with yourself, there's no special techniques, you're not engaged the mind in some special practice that's gonna, you know, kickstart your kundalini and open your chakras. No, I'm talking like you just sit. You just sit. Don't even have to sit, actually. Some people can't sit because of their spine and because of other problems, their knees. Lay down. Or just be quiet. Just go somewhere where there's sense deprivation. You're not around a bunch of noise and people. You can be in nature, you can be in your closet, in your room, whatever. And no music. I mean, you can play with that, but it's okay to use music to get to the point to where then you can turn the music off and then you just sit with yourself. But you want at least some time, some period where you're just sitting with yourself. This is more powerful than going to any spiritual school or taking a spiritual course or, sitting at the feet of a spiritual master for years. That stuff, man, here's what I've discovered. You develop a false dependence on that. I went to a retreat. I've only been to one, you can say spiritual retreat. I've been to more plant medicine retreats, but I've been to a spiritual retreat and I got a very strong darshan from that. And I've shared about it before. It was a very clear transmission that took place that nobody planned. The universe planned it. And that lasted a good 3 days, and there was constant tears, but I wasn't sad, just the opposite. I was very happy. So what happens though is the mind comes in and starts to think that this particular thing, whether it be a teacher, a guru, a course, a technique, etc., a religion, it thinks that that's responsible for giving you inner peace. When really these things were just used as a catalyst. The universe chose to take some shape and appear as some form or some vehicle to transmit some spiritual darshan to you. Why? Because we're so identified with this human bot self that we need a little magic so that we can believe it, basically. We're not high enough just to okay, let me get the transmission, just sitting here. So we're programmed to believe that somehow we need something to get a transmission or to elevate our consciousness. That's okay. Like, you can't do nothing about that, except that. Intellectually saying that that's not true means nothing, because we're talking on causal level. There's deep-rooted beliefs that needs to be done. Therefore, it does need to be done. For the play, for the cosmic movie, that needs to be done. We might need to go and do something. That's okay. So I'm not like faulting those things, but what I'm saying, what I've learned, which now I'm trying to share for those who have the ears to hear, is those things aren't, I can see now in retrospect, there's no reason to have a dependence on a thing or a form, which includes anything that you can see or feel. That's a thing. That doesn't, because it's common sense, really. If something gave you something, and this was the trap I fell into after the retreat, something gave you something, and then you're like, oh, I need to do that again. I'm gonna go do it again. There was a guru that after he got done talking, at first it was like he liked it. He liked when the people would line up outside and go and see him, and it's like almost like he liked that attention for a while, or he didn't mind it. After some time, man, that got old. He got tired of it, because he saw, like, if you saw that movie, The Messiah, the TV series, the people really didn't want to wake up. They just want you to do it for them. They just wanted to just here, touch my head. And so this guru was getting tired of that, and he would tell them before he got done talking, he says, listen, do not rush outside and go stand in line and have me bless your mala and your necklace or touch your head, and like, I don't want to feel the pressure. I don't like this false dependence energy. But the reason that they were doing that, well, there's two reasons. Number one, they just believe like that they project some magical qualities onto somebody and think that they can like do something for them. More deeper though than that, and this was my situation. I felt the transmission that spontaneously happened, and so I was like, it just made sense. I was like, if I go to more retreats and I spend more time around this person, I'm gonna get like, more awake. And so I didn't finish what I was saying. This transmission I got, he was in his car, probably about 100 yards away. I was walking back to my room. I just looked and glanced. He smiled. There was a connection. And man, I got hit. I got hit with some spiritual power or something. So my mind, I was like, okay, damn, we didn't even touch. He didn't even hug me or nothing. I got that. I need to like hug him. Then maybe really, then I'll, right? So then I worked that out. I orchestrated it so that when the lecture was done, I could be in a spot where he would come by, and then I could, contrive a hug, basically. And I did that. And how do you think I felt when he hugged me? I didn't feel anything. I was disappointed. I was like, why? What happened? Now I'm in closer contact with this vehicle that gave me something before, even though he didn't know he did, and I didn't get anything. And then I realized like, you can't manipulate with this show. You can't do it. It's God's destiny. It's God's plan. Everything. He wrote the script. Like, this is, like, what are we gonna do? We're actors and don't know it. On a deeper level, we know it. But the not knowing it seems to take precedence while we're in this human show. So then you can say part of a spiritual practice is to constantly, without effort, but just constantly kind of remember, like, wait a minute, like, this show runs itself. And even that happens automatically by evolutionary law. So it's like, what are we doing? Anything? Yeah, it feels like it. Okay. So all these things are techniques. Sometimes a technique will work really good. You get a new meditation, some teacher gives you a new meditation or a new spiritual practice, self-inquiry, or a new yoga regimen, and you follow that, and you're like, wow, this is really, I can feel my centers opening up and the life force is flowing, cool. Then after some time, it's like, it's not doing it, damn it, I need to go find something else. So I'm trying to say, when you sit with yourself, you're just with yourself. This is what after hopping from continent to continent for years, just looking for stuff, studying these things, trying everything. This is kind of what my spiritual practice is reduced to. I like to sit. I usually sit in my room. For this particular practice we're talking about, I'd rather do it in my room than out here, because intruders, So then somewhere in the background, it's like I'm not totally relaxed. I know in my room nobody's gonna bother me. So I like that. And if you want to, and here's why I say don't worry about techniques. Unless it comes organically and natural and you enjoy it, that's different. This is very individual process, what we're talking about. For me, I never really liked the techniques. This was the problem I had too when I went to the SRF ashram and was living there. There's so many techniques, man, and all these lessons, and you get this thing that you put, it plugs your ears up, and at the same time it blocks your nose, and I just couldn't keep up with everything. And pranayama, okay, here's 7, 4, and then breathe out, and I just got to where I was like, can I just sit here? Something finally gave me permission. I gave myself permission to just sit. I'm just gonna sit here. And then you might feel anxiety, restlessness, the momentum of thoughts. You might, yeah, of course, because like you're sitting still. That has to come up, and that has to kind of slow down or unwind a little bit. That's part of the process. If you need to do some breathing or listen to some bhajans or some mantras or something to kind of just put you in the state, or sometimes I do some stretches and exercises while I'm sitting. I'm spontaneous. Sometimes I'll lay down. That's the whole point. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm conveying, I'm talking to those who resonate with this, with this particular temperament and character and constitution. I'm talking to those people because I know they're out there, because I belong to that too. You have certain constitution that it just doesn't want a bunch of rules and things, you know? And so when you sit with yourself, it's like you can go back to ground zero. And then it's easier to see, once you know what ground zero is, it's easier to see how that seemingly gets eclipsed when you like start engaging with people or go outside or whatever. It gives you some perspective. You like kind of know what you're aiming for now. You're like, oh yeah, ground zero, there's kind of a centeredness and quietness. Like, this is where it's at. It's not out here chasing things. That just makes me more restless. You see, you start to get downloads when you sit with yourself. You get downloads, you get insights, you get realizations. They come from inside. You no longer value so much, you know, reading books all day and night and watching videos all day and night, trying to look for something that you're gonna hear that's gonna like change everything. Like you've already been through that stage. You know that's not gonna happen. You're not looking for a little spiritual homeopathic kind of pill that you're going to take, that then once you metabolize it, then you're back to the same character you were before you took it. Like you see, you realize there's no shortcut, there's no fix. The real thing is I just have to sit with myself. I just got to sit here. And that is as important as eating, brushing your teeth, drinking water, exercise. Sitting with yourself is like one of the main ingredients to this wellness recipe. Spiritual, physical, mental, emotional wellness. You just sit with yourself. People are so damn busy, man. And yeah, man, it's easy to get caught up in that. I have my times too. Sometimes it's like that. If you start a new business, or if you got a lot going on to where you have to, life is just throwing you in the mix. Like you have to handle things. You hardly even have time to eat or go to the bathroom. Yeah, it was like that when I was writing my books and trying to do videos still and doing consults and groups. And I was just like, what am I, like, I need to chill. How can I chill though? Help and take care of my mom. Then still you have to, you know, take her places and shop and go to the dentist. And I'm like, you know, but something inside was super willing and wanting to have some time to where I can just sit with myself. And so when that season, you'll allow it to finish, and you're not going to keep throwing more things on top of it. See, some people, they keep throwing more and more unnecessary things on top of their already busy life, because something inside doesn't want to sit with themselves. They need to keep staying busy, otherwise they get super uncomfortable, because then the anxiety will start to come up. They don't want to feel the anxiety, but they don't realize you're never going to get to any kind of semblance of balance unless you go through that stage of feeling the anxiety. You have to let the dirty ink bottle, all that dirty ink, wash out. And then finally, by pouring clear water in. Clear water is when you sit with yourself. And then finally the ink will start to wash out, and then you'll be in a more stable position. And then when you're more stable inside, you can think clearer. Your decisions are being made. You're not making them. There's no more A, B, and C. You just see what you got to do and you do it. When we're not centered, then we're making, at least unconsciously, decisions based on trying to get out of pain. Well, sometimes we need to feel the pain. If it's an existential internal pain, we have to feel it. The answer isn't to go and take drugs or pills because like we think there's something wrong with us. You know, everybody's disturbed. And then you live in the West, you're going to be it's just a mess. It just keeps you disturbed. So much happening, man. There's so much stimulation. It just keeps getting worse and worse. And technology and the internet. I had to stop looking at that. Like I have to, you know, because of what I do, I have to be on this damn thing at least once a day. But I'm constantly being open to doing less with this, because the less I do, the less I have to manage. The less I have to manage, the more I can stay quiet. You have to see the value of sitting quiet before this is even gonna, I was gonna say, like, you can't really do it just because someone's giving you instructions to do it. Although that's okay to get a taste of it. But ultimately, you have to see the value in this. We're not going to do something if we don't feel the value. I remember a comment on my semen retention channel. A guy said, I did it for 30 days. I don't feel anything. I'm like, you might as well just stop doing it, man. I mean, you are anyway. That's too hard. This stuff we're talking about is too difficult. If you don't see the value in it, you're just not going to do it. Well, how do you see the value in it? Do it. Do it and see if there's any value. If there's not any value, stop doing it. Then maybe later you'll do it again and then you'll see the value. Some people, the karma's too strong, their ego's too activated, their desire for external life is too much, so they're not going to value or appreciate the finer discussions that we try to have here on this channel. It's not their time and season yet. It's easy to see when people leave comments. It's easy to see. They watch a whole video like this, and if all they can comment on is like, oh, you have a hair sticking up. Oh, I saw a wrinkle under your eye, and I'm like, oh man, you need to buy. But some of you, it's clear. It's clear. Generally, the older, more mature, seasoned people, there's some old souls out there in a young body. They're cool. That's cool. But very small percent compared to, let's say I have 50,000 subscribers, very small percent up to like the real deal people who have reached a point where they see like the real medicine that I'm looking for and satisfaction is inside me. It's just inside me. Like, because you've tried enough things now that you see you can't get it anywhere except inside. But you also see how looking for it everywhere was necessary to get to where you've realized I can't get it from anywhere except inside. You see, it all works. So the medicine's inside. We're talking about how to unlock the medicine. And a great way is to sit with yourself. And there's no rules. You see? Some might say, okay, you say sit with yourself and then what? Yeah, there's no then what. Your intuitions will guide you, then what? I'm saying just sit, just forget it. If that's all you do for a month, you just sit. No rules. No rules. You sit and just see what comes up. You might have to process certain things. There may be unfinished business in your life that you need to kind of sort out and make clear. Should I go here? Should I go there? I don't know. Some decisions that are hanging somewhere that you might need clarity on. That might come up when you're sitting with yourself. That's fine. That's fine. And the mind might say, no, you're supposed to just not have any thoughts. That's silly. You get to where you don't have any thoughts sometimes after the unfinished business is cleared up. Sometimes, though, you can't finish the unfinished business. You're not meant to. You have to wait until life unfolds and see. Okay, then you realize that. And then no need to keep thinking about it. But you go as far as you can in that moment in terms of trying to realize what you should do or not do. You make progress, and then when you get to where you see, like, I can't figure it out anymore, okay, then you can't figure it out anymore. No need to keep thinking about it. Yeah, but I keep thinking about it. All right, well, that's cool. Just sit with yourself and think about it then if you want. Or if you can't help it, you just sit with yourself. You have to trust there's a greater power running this show. It's doing this alchemy for you. It's creating shifts in you. Nothing else is. Nothing else is. No person can give you a shift. It comes from inside. Are we willing and open to receive that shift? Patient too. Be patient with the shift happening. You can't force the shift. All right, so you sit here and then that's all you do. You just sit here. That's all you do. There, easy. See you.